Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is the Unstoppable Show, and I am Jennifer Hardy. And today I am joined by Jenna Handel. How are you doing, Jenna?
Hey, I am wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on. Jenna, what is your business? What is it that you do in the world?
I am an online business coach and strategist that works with conscious female entrepreneurs to scale their business so they can make more impact, income, and freedom without the burnout or the overwhelm that often comes along with it.
Oh my goodness, yes, a lot of women will understand and know those words. Burnout, exhaustion, but it doesn't have to be that way, doesn't it not?
Exactly.
So how do you help women? What is your kind of unique method in order to help these women transform?
Absolutely. So what I see is everybody wants to help people. That's the main theme of women rising up right now in the online space and doing amazing things. But often there's only one of two things. Either people have a lot of soulfulness in their business and it turns into more of a project. There's not the strategy behind it. And then on the flip side, there's a lot of people where they're only thinking about the strategy and they're not really letting their heart and their soul into their business. So that's really my specialty, is merging those things together and making sure that they feel really aligned in their business, but they also have the strategy to get it in front of more people so that they can make more impact and the income comes alongside that.
Fantastic, excellent. So can you give us a little bit of your kind of behind the scenes? Where was it that you, for example, grew up? Have you always been a child that's been interested in, kind of creative stuff, or were you quite studious before? What kind of
It's been quite an evolution for sure. I grew up here in Canada. I travel full time now, but that's where I was born and raised. And basically, I went from working in a corporate job, had never really thought about entrepreneurship. Nobody really ever told me that was an option. I was one of those people that always did everything I thought I should. So I was in a corporate job. I had gone into a lot of debt. I was 70 pounds overweight because I was just really unhappy in my life. I was in a long-term relationship, although it was quite toxic, and things shifted for me when I was introduced to entrepreneurship. It was like that first glimmer of I could do more, I could be more, I could actually make an impact and feel really good while I was doing it. So that's what led me into business coaching, and what I do today was that first glimmer of, wow, I could do something different. So from there, it was a big shift into what is now today.
And you are the epitome of digital nomad. You literally travel around the world. Where is it you are just now, and where have you been in the last few years as well?
Yeah, it's been a year and a half now from the time we're recording at this that I've been traveling with my fiance. And
Yeah.
for the last year and a half, we've spent most of our time traveling Canada. We've done up to Alaska, a little bit into the US. And then right now I'm on the east coast of Canada, so really not too far from you. And from here, I fly back across Canada down to California. Then I jet off to Australia shortly, and from there, Bali, and then New Zealand. So some exciting places a little bit further than usual for us are up and coming.
Absolutely. So exciting for you. So, what would you say some of your own personal struggles have been whilst you've been developing this business? Because it's so easy to talk about all the good stuff, which we were definitely going to talk about. But I think it's really nice for people to hear that, even though we're at this level that we're at just now, we've still had massive kind of monumental things that we've had to come over or work on in order to push ahead and get to where we want to go.
Absolutely. And that's what I love to talk about because it's so important to be raw and real and share both the ups and the struggles as well. I would say some of the biggest struggles for me, I mean, on the digital nomad side of things, is to be on top of my schedule and routine, and really figure out a travel style that works, because when you're traveling and you're all over the place, it can really throw off your schedule, as I'm sure you know, and a lot of the listeners can relate to. So for me, rather than being somewhere new every day, I now do about a month at a time at an Airbnb, so I can actually have a semblance of a routine and still get up, fit in my meditations, my workouts, and that was a learning curve for me because I wasn't prioritizing that for a while, which was affecting my business. And I would say the other big thing is just consistently overcoming things like imposter syndrome, money blocks, worthiness. Like, when you get into entrepreneurship, those things get triggered. And
Yeah.
the deeper into it and the more you grow and your business grows, it's like the more you uncover. It's like an onion.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're like, oh my goodness, how did I get here? Like, what,
Yeah.
what, these people are putting their trust and faith in me, and can I deliver? And oh, it's a never ending process. And I think, like you said, the more successful you become, the more you do grow into these kind of shoes of a leader of any description, the more you begin to kind of battle with yourself a little bit, huh?
Absolutely. Like the bigger you go, the more you're uncovering and the more that gets
Hmm.
triggered.
Absolutely. So you've spoke a little bit about, living your best life, living to your full potential. So what does that actually look like, and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, to me, living in your full potential is exactly that, like being in your fullest potential, where that's life, business, relationships, all of it. Because we all do have these upper limit problems where it's like we get to a certain level of success or happiness or abundance and we block ourselves or we self-sabotage ourselves from getting any further. So living in your full potential to me means that when those things come up, you keep going forward. You don't stop and you don't give up, and you live a life that feels good to you. Like, first and foremost is the feeling and the emotion that comes alongside it, and not measuring success based off, how many things on your to-do list you get done in a day. It's more about how you feel when your head hits the pillow at the end of the night, that yes, I was in my full potential today. I did something to move myself forward and I feel good about it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. What would you say would be some of your advice as well for young female entrepreneurs that are maybe just at the beginning of their business? So they don't know really what all the pieces of the puzzle is just yet. And I remember being at that stage and thinking I had to work it all out. I had to figure it all out on my own. And it was overwhelming at times, the amount of incredible information's out there. But that also then leads to a lot of procrastination and trying to be perfect. So what would some of your advice be to new entrepreneurs that are coming into the online business?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest things is to take some sort of messy but aligned action.
Yeah.
Focus on at least the direction in which that you want to go and start moving towards it, because even the people that have had massive success, nobody ever has it completely figured out. We
Okay.
don't need to have the perfect website or the perfect funnel or any of it really figured out. We just start doing it as we move along, and you can always go back and tweak things. So take messy action rather than just, getting analysis by paralysis and getting info overwhelmed. And the second biggest thing is to find a coach or a mentor or somebody that can help you, because that's exactly it. We get info overwhelmed where we're not actually implementing the information that we're looking at. Like, anybody can read amazing books and listen to amazing podcasts, but if we don't know how to actually apply it to ourselves in a way that is going to be strategic and feels good, that's where people just stay stuck and they're always waiting for the right time, and there isn't ever really going to be a right time. So working with somebody who's done the things that you want to do, whose energy feels good and aligned for you, who you can genuinely connect with, who's going to help you pave that path and basically work with you as a teammate to validate your ideas and help you work through the ones that are muddled, so you really do know that the actions you're taking are with purpose rather than just feeling like you're swimming in the dark.
Fantastic. Amazing advice. Absolutely amazing advice. So what was as well one of the things that changed things for you with regards to your business to take it to the next level? What were some of the things that you had to really work on?
One of the biggest things for me was to step into the CEO version of myself. I always talk to people about how you have to act as though. You have to act as though you are that version of yourself. That doesn't mean, say you want to be a six-figure earner, that means that you have to go and rack up your credit cards and buy a bunch of purses, because that's what you would do if you had six figures in the bank. But I mean energetically being that version of yourself, and how you connect with people and how you collaborate and how you speak, and really embodying that version of yourself so that you can become that version of yourself. Like, that was huge for me in the beginning and still is today, because we're always moving on to that next level. Like, there is no destination. It's always evolving it's never going to just be you get there and then that's it. We always get excited and things grow and become bigger. So that has been huge for me, as well as consistently working with my own coaches and mentors and people to help keep me accountable, help me expand, help me grow.
Fantastic, excellent. And like you said, you did mention there, traveling can sometimes be, it can sometimes actually be quite hard to have your schedule on point, to make sure that you're serving your clients and you know, obviously wanting to see the world and actually have a life as well. So what would you say, and what is it like to be traveling whilst running your business? Now, I know that one of the things that you spoke about that you put in place was that having 4 weeks in the same place. I think that's brilliant advice as well. But what are some of the other things that you've found maybe tricky? What things have you found amazing about being a complete digital nomad?
Yeah, one of the things that was really tricky that I had not really thought of before we got to traveling was the availability of good Wi-Fi.
Right.
I thought I didn't really consider that as a factor, and so now that's one of the top factors of things that can be really tricky is making sure you pick places that aren't too remote, or if you are going to go somewhere that is remote, that you structure it as maybe those are your off days. Maybe you're not working those days, or at least not on calls those days if you are in a service-based kind of business, because there was a lot of days for me in the beginning of my business where I wasn't actually able to get on calls, or it was really messing up with my schedule. So that has been huge. And I know you mentioned as well, like how to actually enjoy the places that you're going to and balance that. So what I like to do is if I'm in a place for 4 weeks or so at a time, is I schedule days where I really am off. You know, I treat my business like a business and I structure it where I typically work 3 to 4 days on and then usually 3 to 4 days off, where on those off days I either have my assistant working on some of the back end stuff, or maybe I'm coming in and doing a poster alive, but most of those days are true off days where I'm actually just able to go and immerse myself in the local culture and really explore an adventure. A lot of the times people hear digital nomad, they assume Bali on the beach, you know, working 2 hours a day,
Yeah.
while getting paid a whole bunch, which is amazing. And I'm so excited to go to Bali and do exactly that. But I also love adventure. I love going to all sorts of different places and doing things where maybe I am going to an eco resort, but the next week I might be on a backpacking trip where we're totally off the grid. So I like the whole variety of things. So really just creating that schedule that feels good to that individual person. And that's what's really worked well for me, is just asking myself those questions rather than just copying and assuming it has to look one specific way.
Fantastic. What are some of your favorite platforms to use in the online space?
Definitely I'm a Facebook girl. That's really where my business started to take off, where I really started to build it and have found the most organic success. But I'm also really loving on Instagram lately. That's been growing pretty rapid fire. I've seen a lot of success for my clients using Instagram as well, and just starting to expand more into Pinterest and LinkedIn. And I think there's a lot of potential for those as well.
Fantastic. And what would you say would be some of your top tips to growing your visibility, your awareness, and especially using something like Facebook? What would your tips be for that?
Absolutely. So live videos are huge. That has been one of the number one things for me organically growing my business, is getting in on live videos, sharing value, being consistent. And one of the other things is to, number one, create your own community and create it as an actual community. Nobody's going to show up on a Facebook group if it's just you posting about yourself. It has to be a collective goal or objective or energy, but you have to give people a reason to want to hang out and come in there. And that really starts with being consistent and knowing what a group is actually for, as
Yeah.
well as hanging out in other people's Facebook groups. Go where your potential soulmate clients are hanging out, and don't just throw up a sales post and run. Actually go in there and become a member of that community. Share value, engage with other people. I see that as a big thing where a lot of people post up their things, but they're not engaging with the other people. And that has been
Yeah.
absolutely game changing, is to actually be a member of the community, engage with the people on my Facebook, spread the love.
Definitely. I love that. I love it. So tell us a little bit about where we can find you on the online space as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So Facebook is definitely where I am a lot of the time. So you can come on there. I'm there on Jenna Faye, both my personal and my business page. I love making new friends. My group on there is the Sacred SHE Sisterhood, so you can search that up, and would love to have some more high vibe women coming in there to hang out and network and collaborate. Instagram, I'm at Jenna Faye Handel, or you can just go to my website, sacredshesisterhood.com, which will lead you to any of the different social media platforms that I hang out on.
Fantastic. And tell me a little bit as well about your coaching program. I know that it's delivered via bot on Messenger, which is so cool. So a little bit about that would be fab. Thank you.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, the bot is something that has been a really, really cool work in progress. I haven't really seen a lot done around it. I'm actually really revamping it right now because if you go into it right now, it's had lots of success. People are loving it, but there's both a life coaching and a business coaching aspect. So I'm really ramping up the business coaching and adding in some more tangible tools and tactics for women to work through it. If you're listening to this and you're wondering what a bot is,
Yeah.
it's like a different type of email marketing, but it's on Facebook bots, so it's automated, but it's a really cool tool to get in front of people and to connect with people in a different way on Facebook. So that has been cool. And in regards to the coaching program, yeah, I work with people in a couple different capacities, but the main focus is this whole concept of soulmate strategy and sacred business. To me, business has the potential to really create massive shifts with the collective, with the more people that are rising up and really owning their gifts and their power and spreading their unique message, the more healing and transformations that are taking place that has a ripple effect. So that to me is how business is really, really sacred. So I like to get in the nitty-gritty with my clients and do this whole concept of merging soul and strategy together to get their business to the next level, both in income for sure, but also with their impact and creating that freedom lifestyle, whether freedom lifestyle means also being a digital nomad, or maybe it just means having that time and financial freedom to live their life the exact way that they would like to work it without having any kind of restrictions holding them back.
Fantastic. It has been an absolute pleasure to speak to you today, Jenna. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much, Jen, for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
And I am so excited to go into your Facebook training bot. I'm so excited to see it. I've never seen anything like it, so it's amazing.
Absolutely, yes, check it out.
Fantastic. So everyone that is listening out there, I hope you took some amazing golden nuggets away from Jenna there. She is the living proof that you can run your business and of course travel the world at the same time and have huge success doing it. So like Jenna was saying, she's got her free offerings and all of her links are just below. So if you scroll down, and if you want to find out a little bit more about Unstoppable and what we do as well, just below Jenna's links, you will find the Unstoppable ones too. So thank you so much for listening and for being a part of this movement. We really appreciate you tuning in, and please feel free to share this episode wherever you like. Have a great day, and we will speak to you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.